This article is from USA Today. It says Stephen Colbert reveals the real hairy reason for late show firing. Quote, CBS saw my upper lip and boom, canceled. Coincidence? Stephen Colbert said on July 21st. It says there are many legitimate reasons for both Stephen Colbert and the Late Show franchise. Why both Stephen Colbert and the Late Show franchise were canceled by CBS last week. There's the collapse of TV late nights model amid rising costs, declining profits, and shrinking viewership. There's Colbert's unrelenting criticism of a thin-skinned president, while CBS parent company Paramount Global seeks to finalize an $8.4 billion merger with Skydance Media, which requires regulatory approval from the federal government. All of these things could be true. However, the Late Show with Stephen Colbert host floated another eyebrow-raising theory on July 1st that, while made in apparent jest, shouldn't be brushed away like panini crumbs in Movember. I have no idea what Movember is.
So that's when it's about men's health. That's when men don't shave and they grow out their...
I thought that was No Nut November and all that. No Shave November.
Movember, I think, existed before people started saying No Nut November. I don't even know. I've heard of No Nut November before, but it's Movember that I...
You might be right. Google says Movember is a global men's health movement that takes place annually in November. The name is a combination of the Australian English word mo for mustache and November. During Movember, men are encouraged to grow mustaches to spark conversation and raise awareness and funds for men's health issues. These issues include prostate and testicular cancer, mental health, and S-word prevention. Self-deleting prevention. The movement was founded in 2003 by a group of friends in Australia. All right.
Yes.
That's interesting.
So, No Nut November is something else.
All right. It says this firing. It says this firing was spurred on by his controversial summer mustache. It was his stashism, quote unquote. Colbert returned from summer hiatus to the Late Show on July 14, sporting what one charitably referred to as a, quote, unfortunate summer mustache. In his first monologue, the host got way too close to the camera while discussing the ongoing facial hair situation on his upper lip, which he referred to as his salt and pepper cookie pusher. That's a weird joke. It says, sure, Colbert also eviscerated Donald Trump and Paramount in the same monologue, causing consternation in the corner offices and likely the Oval Office. Yet, as well, we all know, 3 nights later, a newly shaven Colbert announced the news of the Late Show cancellation to a stunned nation. There's more, but I don't want to read more. I think we get it.
This is... Okay, here's the thing. 2 things. 1, I understand when you talk about the bosses, a lot of times that doesn't go well publicly. A lot of times that doesn't go well for you. And on that end of things, get it. Okay.
That didn't go well.
No, it didn't. That was very unexpected.
There it is.
Just like Colbert's exit.
It was totally unplanned. He said things don't go well and everything fell.
And I feel like my head went down too. Like I felt like I was going down with it too. Like I was looking down.
That's mad funny.
Anyway.
When you talk about the bosses, it doesn't always go well.
Yeah, when you talk about the bosses publicly, it doesn't always go well. On one hand, I'm like, I understand how he shook the table with speaking about Paramount execs, Paramount, the company. Like, that's a shaky ground to be on. However, typically people in that role kind of, it's kind of like what we say about comedians. They kind of get this extra leeway, this extra space to say things that most of us probably cannot get away with. This seemed to me to be more about the merger and the politics of the free speech piece of it.
Yes.
And if you're paying attention to news today, this year, a lot has changed. Even going to places where you previously thought were safe in terms of getting your news and your news talk, is voices are being suppressed
Yes.
and people are shifting their interests.
Yes.
And if you are, again, if you are paying attention to news, or if you haven't been and you want to know what I'm talking about, do a little research about some of these news outlets, especially the cable news outlets, and how they have historically presented themselves. And then check out, I won't even say names, but check out some of the news talk stations, and you will see that there has been a shift over the last several months.
People are not so fair and balanced anymore.
Exactly. So this just feels like another piece of that. This feels very much like if there were someone else in power, that maybe this would have gone differently. It also, to me, just to lighten it up a little bit, and I'm sure you'll have a lot to say, but the last thing I'll say is I feel like I'm on a season of Succession. I really feel like we are very much, and if you know, you know, and if you don't know, go watch Succession, please. It's a great show. Um, and then go back to old episodes of ours, and we reviewed the final season. But please, like, pay attention to it, because it tells this story from the end of the people who run the news and who run the company that runs the news, and it'll make a lot more sense watching something like that. What's going on here? Because I think that we have this idea that news and media is just like its own entity and it's controlled by no one else. But that is not true. Our government is very much involved in what we see and how we see it. That's it. That's all I gotta say.
There's a clip that goes viral every couple months, maybe every couple years. Maybe I'm being too nice. It's a clip that goes viral regularly from the show Newsroom.
One of my favorites.
If you know the clip, then I don't have to say much. But maybe y'all don't know the clip, so here's what I will say. Unfortunately, today, if you are tied to a large conglomerate, you're going to be censored more and more. Why? Because you do not have the independent voice you once had. The White House is taking away funding. The White House is pulling the rug underneath people. The White House is bullying people. And really, by people, I mean companies. They are doing things to companies and they are not playing fair. And if you don't think that's okay to say, that's cool. Argue with your mama. What I'm going to say very simply is, if you are not an independent operator, you are going to have to make some career choices. This has historically happened. You can look at Don Lemon. You can look at Mark Lamont Hill. And the list goes on and on and on. When you speak out, you will be fired, censored, moved to a less entertaining time slot, etc., etc., etc. The difference today is it's more in your face than ever, probably. The difference today is they don't give a fuck how it looks. Because maybe before they said, well, we can't do that to JD because the people will have some things to say. People are consumers. They won't really like it. Today they don't give a fuck about what you like. Today they are doing the Steve Jobs. Tell people what they like. Steve Jobs once said, people don't know what they like. You have to tell them what to like.
Yeah. And this is why, if you're going to get your news from these places, especially news, but obviously we get other things from them too. But if you're going to get your news from these places, don't pick one, watch them all, or have other sources where you can find news as well, because sometimes often you are getting a skewed view of exactly what is going on, exactly what is happening. And as well, I know you're saying independent, is the way to go, but I even worry about, little old us, that we speak pretty freely on this podcast, and we are barely 7 months in, 6, 7 months into our world as we know it for a while, and we could end up being censored as well, and that's a scary thought, because once they're done with the Colberts of the world, well, the little fish that, every now and again get a video that a bunch of people watch and share and like, I feel like they're next.
I hear that. Bringing it back to Colbert, just feel like we didn't say much about him specifically. My last point, bringing it back to Colbert, I think is unfortunate, but he had a great run.
Yeah.
And I think that he'll be able to move on to other things and shine just as much. And I think it's great that he has friends like Jon Stewart who will come up there and say, fuck y'all. This is fucked up.
Yeah, I agree. I think he'll be okay, because, like a Don Lemon, I'm sure that this will open doors for him that maybe he wasn't even imagining at this point in time. But it is a crappy thing to have happen.
Absolutely.
You don't want your voice to be taken away, and in that way. And I mean, the Late Show has been on for 20 years.
Yep.
Like,
And what happens to
Letterman,
the Tonight's though?
what, like Jimmy Fallon and
No, the Ben and Jerry's ice cream, which is one of my favorite
the
flavors.
Tonight's dough. I've
What
never had
happens
it
to
because
the
it has
Tonight's
nuts
though?
or peanut
Do I
butter or
need to
something,
go
right?
buy? It does, yes. Yes,
I
it
don't
does.
think Ben and
Do I
Jerry's
need
is
to go
going to
buy
take.
like 20 pints and store them before it gets pulled from shelves?
You think it's gonna get pulled from shelves?
If Tonight Show don't exist anymore, how could the contract exist?
Is it an official contract with the Tonight Show?
I don't know. I gotta find out because it looks just like the Tonight
Yeah,
Show set on the cover.
it does, but it is called the Tonight Dough. So it's not exactly like, the likeness is not, well, his face is on it. That's why I'm like, is it with the show or is it with Colbert? Because if it's with Colbert, get your money, honey. Keep that going. I've never had it. I've heard it's good though.
It's great.
I can't have it, but I believe you.
Google says yes, Ben and Jerry's The Tonight's Dough ice cream flavor is tied directly to the Tonight's Dough hosted by Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy Fallon.
The Tonight Show, you mean? Yeah,
That's
we're talking about the
the
Late
wrong
Show.
show.
And why didn't
All
that
right,
click
my
for me?
bad.
We're talking about the Late Show, not and I
My
did say
bad.
Jimmy Fallon. I
That's my
did say
bad.
Fallon in the beginning.
That's my bad. Just being
Yeah,
fat
you
and worried
confused
about the
me.
wrong shit. That's my bad, y'all. My bad.
Although I thought
El
Colbert
Malo,
had one too. Is
what's his
Col?
call?
I don't know. I don't have my laptop with me, but
I'm looking.
I swore he did. Is his Americone Dream? Is that him?
About to find out.
Because that's my jam. I love Americone Dream.
Yep, Americone Dream.
Oh, that's I love that. I don't even like waffle cones, but that's good. A little crunchy waffle cone inside. Ooh, yummy.
It says yes. Ben and Jerry's Americone Dream ice cream is directly tied to Stephen Colbert and his shows, Z with a S. So maybe it's safe.
Yeah, there might be a loophole in there because it doesn't just say the lady.
All right, I think that's our show. No.
Yep,
Yeah.
I think
All
so.
right, folks, go grab an ice cream.
Get some Ben and Jerry's. If y'all need some flavor recommendations, let me know. I love me some
I
Ben
mean, we
and
just
Jerry's.
gave y'all two of them.
Right, but I also have some other ones that I love. So
All right.
next time.
Hit us in the DMs or the comments if you need ice cream recommendations. Let us know what y'all think about this whole censorship and firing.